AITA for telling my father that it was his fault he missed my son's first birthday party. My son turned 1 this past weekend. On Sunday, my husband and I threw a birthday party for him at a local kids venue. We confirmed the date, with both the venue and our guests, a few months ago. One of those guests was my father. Back when I informed him of the date, he told me he'd come. A few days before the party, he asked if there was any way for me to reschedule it. I said no, as we'd already confirmed everything with the venue. My father then told me he'd be late to the party because there was an event at his girlfriend's church on the same day, and she wanted him to attend. I should say that my immediate family, including my father, is technically Catholic, but none of us practice it. However, my father's girlfriend is very religious. Like, Jesus as her phone wallpaper religious. Since they started dating a little over a year ago, my father has been attending church with her on a semi-regular basis. He has explicitly told me he doesn't like it, but does it to make her happy. I told my father I was fine with him being late, as long as he came to the party at some point. He said he'd show up as soon as the church event was done. A few hours before the party ended, my father texted me the event was still going, and he thought it would be in poor taste for him to leave early, so he probably wouldn't be able to come. I didn't hear from him again that day. On Monday, my father called me to explain that the event went on for longer than he expected. He didn't apologize, but asked if I was angry at him, and I said yes. He said he had no way of knowing the event would last as long as it did, but that's not what I'm upset about. I told him he still chose to prioritize an event he didn't even want to attend over his grandson's first birthday party, made several other choices that led him to completely miss the latter, and didn't inform me about any of that until the last minute. All of those decisions were his, so the fact he ultimately didn't come to the party was his fault. My father is still refusing to apologize, and insists I have no right to be angry over something he had no control over. I'm starting to feel odd about this. My husband is on my side, but my sister told me I'm being dramatic. AITA. Update AITA for telling my father that it was his fault he missed my son's first birthday party. Hey guys. I intended to update sooner, but I've been busy these days. I think my main takeaway from your comments was that it's not my job to placate my father's feelings. He made several conscious decisions that led him to miss the birthday party. He had the right to make those choices, but the consequences were, indeed, his fault. After deliberating for a while, I called my father to discuss the subject again. I told him I don't expect him to apologize, and I won't hold resentment towards him forever, but he can't expect me to pretend his actions didn't anger me, or that it wasn't his fault. We had a long discussion about it. Throughout all of it, my father kept trying to play the victim. He'd talk about how he wanted to come to the party, and was upset he'd missed it. At one point he said, "You don't understand, I didn't want to go to the church." I told him I don't care, what matters is that he did. He could have told his girlfriend he didn't want to go, but he didn't. He could have left the church early, but he didn't. He could have prioritized his previous commitment and not attended the event in the first place, but he didn't. Everything he did that day was within his control. I won't get into the specifics of the discussion itself, but I will say that it took a while. I explained that if he wants to prioritize his girlfriend over his grandchild, the least he can do is be upfront about it. That means either not making promises he can't keep or acknowledging his responsibility when he makes regretful decisions. My father did end up apologizing and, more importantly, taking accountability. I forgave him, but I intend to be wary from now on. Looking back, I don't feel like I was ever able to truly rely on my father. Back then, he would miss events because he had a complicated work schedule. But now that I know he's also capable of doing that willingly, I don't want to enable it. If my father ever prioritizes anything, be it a girlfriend or an event, over a commitment he made to my son again, I will stop inviting him. Same goes for any children my husband and I have in the future. I've informed my father of that, and he agreed. His girlfriend, from what I've heard, is pissed at me, but I could care less. This will be my only update. I don't think I have anything else to add, but feel free to ask me any questions you may have. Thank you for your feedback on my last post.